guys? Lift and Libation, episode 2, podcast, things and stuff. Same crew as last time, but we have a new edition. But let's go around the room and let's introduce ourselves. So it's me
And I'm Jono, and I'm here doing things.
Hey, this is Adrian.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am B, but mostly to you ladies. Sexy ladies, obviously. Actually, I don't need
Beef, a.k.a. the flavor purple. Anyway.
That's a good one.
And what have I gotten myself into? I am Patrick David Walker, the one and only.
All right.
Hold on, before we do anything, can we take a second to just acknowledge the fact that Beav was talking like his most ghetto the entire time, and the podcast starts, and all of a sudden he's just fucking Ron Burgundy. Hello, ladies. I am here for you. Okay.
My persona, I'm trying to get
I'm Beaverton, right?
I'm trying to get laid here, guys. Come on, dude. That's my daily struggle.
Hello.
From the podcast?
I'm single.
Yeah, you have to wait till at least.
Dude,
I have two cute
don't you know
dogs.
podcast hosts and attendings are the new fucking rock stars of 2018?
No.
The fact that you don't know that is you're gonna be drowning in so much nothing after you get done with this.
Anyway, so the new addition to the crew is Patrick. So Patrick, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Mostly an artist. I work around the city of El Paso, but I'm also a bartender. I've been doing it for about 7 years. Started way back when in Lowbrow, place of no rules, no laws. Moved on up to a couple other places, Hoppy Monk, Black Orchid, Craft
What
and
is
Social.
Hoppy Monk?
Tell us why you got fired from all those places.
No, hold on. You never got fired from. Okay, but
Why
just assume that people listening don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
are you
Alright.
yelling in the mic?
Because I don't really
He's
know how
black.
this
He's
shit works,
black.
dude.
He has to be the angry one.
Yeah.
Black
I'm
party.
angry. Anyway.
He sees a mic,
Jeez.
he yells World Star.
Anyway.
All right,
So what's lowbrow?
let me start at the beginning. Lowbrow, I started bar back in there.
What is Lowbrow?
That was an event bar. It was mainly a venue bar. Bands would come in, play, just constant Coronas and Dos Equis left and right, just cheap shit.
So a lot of
No
black
one ever
people
asked
went
for
in.
anything special.
Well, I also worked there too, but I worked there from like when it opens till I don't know, like maybe 5 years.
When it got bought out, right?
Yeah, by Splendid
Splendid
Suns,
Suns.
which are the guys who run like Neon Desert, and they have a big hand in I think it's South by Southwest.
Yep, they're
Yeah.
from Austin, actually. They're
Yeah.
not even El Paso.
Yeah. So you worked there, and then you worked at Hoppy Monk, which is like a really like expansive beer garden, right?
It's a
Like
craft beer bar, 70 beers on tap. Worked there with B for about just under 5 years.
I actually I'm going to state this right now. I hated him when he worked there, but now he's my best friend. Because I don't work there anymore with him, or I don't work with him at all.
I hated him too when he was there. He was an asshole.
And so, all right, so from let's see, Hoppy Monk, then you went to where?
Then I went to Black Orchid, technically for about a month.
We'll talk about that in a minute. You also work at Craft
Craft and Social.
right?
I've been there for about 2 years. That's also a craft bar. They have about 20 beers on tap, but it's far more eclectic mix than Hoppy Monk had. So we had a lot more rarer beers. We're also the biggest account for Odell in all of West Texas.
Oh, nice.
So-
Okay, I didn't even know that. That's pretty badass. So you got fired from Black Orchid. What
God.
happened there, dog? Like, why'd you get fired from there?
So all these previous bars that I named, there were no rules. There's no laws. It was the Wild West of bars. I go to Black Orchid and I serve, I sold some beers to go after 2 o'clock. There, I said it.
If you guys don't know, we're from Texas, and that is literally like shut down your bar territory right there.
Yeah.
Like,
In my
there's
defense.
Yeah, even when it's like fucking daylight savings and
You
when it
gotta-
switches, you gotta be like, "Fuck you, get out of my
Yeah.
bar." Like,
Yeah.
it's
there's-
horrible. What is Black Orchid? Like, what is like a?
I want to say in my defense though, that bar is tiny. It's like on no one's radar. But Black Orchid is a craft cocktail bar.
That's on no one's radar. Just here, you heard it first here, sir. Black Orchid is a bar that's on no one's radar. Anyway, I don't want to plug that. Anyway, but so yeah, why'd you get fired there? Like, what happened?
He just explained it.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
Alright, you
so
Come
beer
on,
to go
man.
after 2 o'clock. Owner came up. There were cameras there. I knew there were cameras there. I wasn't oblivious to the fact. The owner came up like the following week after and was like, "Hey, I saw something on camera. I'm just not sure what I saw." I was like, "Oh yeah, that was me." Like, well, were you selling
owned
beer to
up to
go?
it?
Yeah, I'm always honest. 100%. I'm always honest.
That's the best thing to do.
Yeah, that's a
So-
good policy. I like that.
And honestly, she kind of sighed. She's like, I wish you would have lied to me because now I'm going to have to fire you. And I'm like, oh, well,
She said you wish you had
Shit.
lied to me.
You know, I mean, you could say maybe the camera glitched out or something, time changed. I don't know.
Oh, that was my evil tweet. It snuck in here. He does that shit all the time. That's why I got fired from the other places.
See, but the thing that got to me is she like rattled on a few other things. She's like, well, you also decided to keep the bar open till 2. We're supposed to close at midnight. All the other places I worked at, it was up to your discretion as the bartender. If it's busy, if you're going to make money, keep the bar open, keep that money.
I believe it's a general rule as a bar, if you're an owner, that you should never close before 2. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, every bar that I worked at, like, Austin Allen, he owns, like, Love Buzz, and he used to own Lowbrow, the venue bar.
Yep.
He's a prominent bar owner here in El Paso. That's one of his things, like, don't close before 2. Chris Lowell's, everybody, like, most, like, really great bars here in El Paso do not close before 2.
Rest in peace, Black Market.
Black Market.
Black
R.I.P.
Market, baby.
Hold on, let's cheers to that real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Black Market.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah. Black Market, for those who don't know.
If she doesn't know what
Chug,
Black
chug, chug.
Market is, she's too young for you, bro.
That's kind of true, actually. But no, Black Market used to be kind of like it was a dive bar. It was the basement bar, and like everybody loved it. Like it wasn't like the greatest, it didn't have like the greatest beers or any of that shit. It was just a great place to hang out,
Yeah.
But,
And drink cheap Rumplemans.
and
Oh,
Jaeger.
yeah.
And Jaeger.
And
Oh, and
Burning
Lone
Goldschlager.
Stars.
Oh, yeah.
Burning Nazis. Like I remember, like we came up with that
Oh.
special. It's like Burning Nazis is different. It's like it's just mixing our 2 specials.
Yeah. And creating one big special.
Yeah, big special. So yeah, man. So what are you up to nowadays?
Well, now I'm just at Craft and Social. Mostly just slinging craft beers, a lot of sours for all the sour lovers out there.
Hey,
And then
All right, speaking
Yeah.
of craft beers, what the fuck are we drinking on right now?
I
So
like what you're saying, but I'm gonna cut you right off. Let me ask you a
Patrick.
question and not let you answer.
so it's Matador from El Paso Brewing Company. It's a Mexican Vienna lager.
woot,
which,
woot.
Who
It's-
makes it, Jono?
the
Jono.
Alves at the brewery.
Well, you're
Look, just
short.
because you're short doesn't mean you have to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
I make this beer. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
It is. It is. I definitely like it.
Actually, this is actually my favorite beer out of all the beers that I've had from you.
Yeah.
And I give you the most,
Honest reviews.
yes,
Yeah.
blunt reviews on things.
He fucks it up when it
Right.
comes to
This is
reviewing
the
me.
guy who likes Bush. You just want to get that.
Yeah, I just
out
want to say
there.
Beef is objectively wrong. Your Scottish ale you made was the best beer.
Oh, the Scottish wee heavy.
No,
We'll talk
yeah.
about
Fuck
that later.
no, that shit was fucking garbage.
we
It was
have these-
super
Get-
ABV.
You know what?
Like,
Cut his mic.
Fight.
Cut his
Cut
mic.
his mic.
Good advice.
Anyway, we're talking about the Vienna lager, so continue.
So yeah, it stays true to its style. We try to recreate like a Negra Modelo kind of esque beer, and it's just nice malty profile, not aggressive on the hops at all, just very silky smooth caramel flavor.
So first of all, I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
man, are you
it's a
hitting
great
on me
beer.
or you talking about
beat
beer?
Negra Modelo,
Ooh.
in my opinion. But this is a good segue to kind of let people know. So not everybody, hopefully everybody who's listening to this knows, but not everybody knows. 4 main ingredients for making a beer, right? You got your water, you got your beer powder, and that's it.
Whoa, no.
No.
Oh, no,
So, like,
Those
beer,
4
beer
ingredients. Yeah,
powder,
you're
What
you're
the
way
fuck
out
is
of
No?
it.
Oh shit, no. All
It's
right.
just like
sorry.
making tea.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No,
but
it's
yeah,
making like oatmeal.
Nah, yeah, it's kind
Literally-
of like you're fermenting oatmeal pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, no. So
And
joking aside, so you got your water, your malt, right? Your malts.
yeah, your grains, your
Yeah.
malt grains.
You got your hops.
Yes,
And you
sir.
got your yeast. So
That's
those are
right.
your 4 main ingredients that any true beer should have. Now,
That's right.
those can vary depending on what it is you're making. If you're making like a lager, if you're making a dark beer, like the
Yeah.
ratio of those ingredients changes.
Yeah, and then
Right.
adding the different
So
ones, the roasted.
what are we
and the-
looking at here? What makes this beer stand out? Because it's
A lot of-
smooth, it's flavorful.
A lot of Munich. As far as the hops go, they're German hops. German hops are typically really low in alpha acids, and they're not really bitter. So that kind of allows it to be kind of grassy, but not like bitter. You know what I mean? It doesn't smell like a barnyard. It smells like, you know.
I
Just want to
don't-
know,
so-
we all
we
picked
all-
up our
we
beers.
We all just
It's,
smelt it
it's
right
Like this
now.
makes great radio, guys. When everybody stops talking and just sniffs their beer. Great.
Coming on episode 3,
Huh.
Smell-O-Vision.
Not a barnyard. Good beer.
But no, you're right. It doesn't have like an alcohol smell to it, and it doesn't have a pungent smell. It has a nice smooth smell. This is a rare thing, but it's one of those things where when I smell it and I taste it, they instantly sync up. And it's one of those beers where if I hadn't tasted it but I smell it, then after tasting it, I would say, yeah, this is exactly what I smelled.
Yeah.
There are some other beers where you smell them, and you're like, okay, this is wrong. Like, why is this coming out of this beer?
The next beer that I'll let you guys have is the Papi Chulo, and that is a blonde ale, and the citrus hops really come out when you smell it, but when you drink it, it's just a super easy drinking beer. Really good stuff.
Yeah, I had that at the beer fest, and it was really good. But yeah, that's the exact perfect example of I smelled it before I drank it, and I drank it, and it's like, these two don't match for me, but
it's kind of like
it was
pussy,
still a great beer.
You know? It's kind of like pussy.
Yeah, exactly.
It smells dank, but you still go for it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's the one obligatory.
Nassau Brewing Company, Mexican lager. It's kind of like pussy. That's the plug for this one. All right.
The one obligatory pussy eating joke we have to have in this podcast. That's what we're doing now.
I'm sure there are many more to come.
Yeah, just fucking general
I
beer.
hope there's many more.
Yeah.
If there's no more pussy jokes, I'm quitting right now.
Okay.
Done. Dropping the
I'm
mic.
saying, like, I'm holding us up to
Literal
a
dropping the
standard.
mic.
Every episode has to have one. Last episode had one. This is this episode, and they're always coming from Jono. It's a matter of giving him the right,
Setting him up.
layup.
Setting
Yeah,
him
you
up.
got you got to set me up, and I'll knock it out of the
Yeah.
park.
So this beer, is it your original recipe or?
No, this is all Carlos. He's studied this recipe, I guess, for the past 10 years, is what I've heard.
Damn.
And yeah, this one came out a lot better than the first one, even though I felt the first one was amazing.
But
this
who
one,
brewed the first one? Was
so-
that when Jason was still?
no,
working
not
there?
even. Jason had left, and it's just Carlos and I. So
Okay.
yeah, we brewed the first batch and the second batch now. So it's coming out pretty good. I feel like we're getting our consistency down on some of the beers.
That's the best thing you could do. Like starting off as a new brewery.
Yeah.
Consistency is honestly.
That's why he drinks Bush, because
Yeah.
it's consistent.
Yeah, it's consistent and
Consistently
shitty.
shitty.
Yeah, but it's consistent. Like if you don't know what you're doing, then your beer is gonna be inconsistent.
Well, I also read that like big brewers like Anheuser-Busch, when they make Budweiser, like not all their batches come out looking a certain way. Oh, like not all their beers come out looking a certain way, so they actually color their shit like to make sure it's all the same.
No,
color.
they
Like
throw
with
away more
coloring,
beer
or-
than like I heard something where they throw away more beer than like Avery, which is a huge craft like brewery, makes a year. They throw away more beer than they make a year.
Yeah, but the production is still crazy high, so it's minimal.
Yeah,
And they make their beer with rice, and they even advertise
no,
that
but
they make their beer
you
with
think
rice.
about it, the best brewers in the beer industry are Budweiser, because they can make this. Have you ever tasted a Budweiser that didn't taste the same as the last one? No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then
Like,
again,
no,
have you
they-
tasted more than one Budweiser?
Yes,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yes.
I've tasted many
But I've had,
batches,
like,
many.
different brews from like craft brews that are like we're pretty consistent. Like my favorite brewers are Dogfish Head. I love Dogfish Head. Pretty much anything they come out with I like, and like Dogfish 90 always tastes like the same way.
You know what? I'm gonna completely go against you on that one because Dogfish Head.
fight.
First of all, I love that brewery. I tasted every Dogfish Head imaginable. Like I would literally go on like online and trade beer and try like their rarest shit.
Ooh,
But-
hold on. That's you can go online and trade a beer.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
you
can.
can.
All right, we gotta make an episode of that. 'Cause that's fantastic.
But it was super inconsistent. And now they got bought out by a majority company, and it's like.
Yeah,
Only
Anheuser-Busch bought them
15% of their steaks.
But the thing is that you're like when you so this actually leads to something else. They're like they only got bought out 20%. It's not majority, whatever. But that's an extra board member on them. So one person out of 5 making a decision, like corporation wise, that's pretty intense. But anyways, back to my original point. Odell makes the most consistent beer. I love that brewery. They don't go crazy. They don't make some like lobster stout. They don't make romantic chemistry. But they make beer and they make it good and they make it consistent. And that's why I love them.
And it makes
That's
some
my
great
favorite
sours.
beer.
They do go a little crazy sometimes with some
Whoever
of their
is
sours.
the graphic designer at Odell is like badass because they
Right.
actually have like probably the best designed product.
Amen.
And
Hell
there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with going heavy on the sours, so you shut your whore mouth right now.
But
Oh no, I'm all for it. I'm
Alright.
all for sours.
Good man.
fuck sours. Fuck sours right in their sour
Whoa.
face.
No,
okay,
fuck you.
why? Why fuck
Because they're
sour?
sour. Like they're okay. The thing
Look, just because you have an undeveloped palate,
No,
unlike the
fuck
rest
you
of
with your
us,
undeveloped
you
palate.
uncultured swine, doesn't
I
mean
can't
that.
stand sour. All right. The only
remember my
reason
first craft
sour,
beer.
the only reason for me that sour flew as a flavor is because it was always followed by sweet. That's why I loved Warheads as a kid growing up. I loved Warheads. They were like the fucking sourest.
I was the kid that would like suck on them until the sour were
Yeah,
out,
you would.
and I would spit them out because I
Oh, you're a
didn't
spitter.
want. Yeah.
Okay, I'm a little disgusted that you're comparing Warheads to beer, like a sour beer. That's
Well, I'm
just
talking
the
about the-
That's
wrong way to
actually
go about
no.
it.
I'm
You
talking
know
about the flavor is sour.
There
but
are some sour beers that you're gonna want to drink if you do like Warheads, but the complexities and like the different flavor profiles from different sours, some will like
I
apply
just-
to wine drinkers. Some might apply to your inner child, but
I just don't like sours. I think that's a weird like
it's a very
flavor.
diverse beer.
That's a weird flavor to.
Should we call it a beer?
Yes, I
f-
know it has.
I feel it's like
Well, real quick, actually, before we
yeast
get
and the
into
culture
this,
in it.
how do you make a sour? So we all know how you
It's
make
the
a
same
regular beer
way,
or lager,
but
but
you
what makes it
infect it.
different?
you infect it.
You throw warheads in there.
You
That's a fifth ingredient.
can pitch like lactobacillus or cerevomyces, and it'll
So you infect it with a
it.
different
It's a
bacteria.
With a
that actually
bacteria,
gives you
yeah.
that flavor.
Yeah, it's a
Like-
wild fermentation, and so to me, like I think we had this discussion the other day about pizza. Is it pizza if it doesn't have the pizza sauce? What if it has
Yes.
pesto or Alfredo? It's not a pizza anymore.
No,
that's
it's
negative,
literally
because that's not
called
what
white
defines a
pizza.
Yeah.
It's called white pizza. It's such a thing. There is sauceless pizza. It exists.
I feel like this goes back to my original is purple flavor.
Yes.
No, it doesn't. No, get off of that.
There's no such thing as pizza sauce. It's marinara sauce.
Okay, if it doesn't have the marinara, then is it a pizza still?
Yes,
It's
it is
not a
because
red
fucking-
pizza.
Pizza is not defined by the sauce it has, but it's defined by the format in which it's constructed.
Boom.
That was-
So
Ooh.
sour is
Yeah.
a beer. Sour is a beer. Heard
Then
it
I
right
will-
there.
I will
Big
accept
Black,
that. I
AKA
love it.
Darren,
There you
AKA
go.
Clyde.
I will accept that. I like that argument.
Okay, but anyway, so sour. So you say it's a regular beer that's been infected with a certain bacteria, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I've had pretty much I've had a lot of sours. I've had wild sour, which I hate because they're too sour. Maybe Sequence probably is like the
Sequence is like a limerita. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
You guys
Yeah.
gotta put your mic closer. to you.
Sequence
sorry, but
is
yeah,
not bad. I like
Sequence is a
Sequence.
goes, so it's not like
Go say it.
It's
super
not-
sour
Goes
either. It's
are
a
about the
nice
limit,
little
but-
summer sour.
Yeah, and then I think what got big was Duchess of
The Bourgogne.
yeah that one
That
got really
one
big.
really
I
good.
haven't seen it in a while, but yeah, I guess another one.
It's
I was
on
like-
You can do
Tap
that
at the
or you
Monk.
do-
Salty Lady is a
24/7.
weird one where it's
I love
it's
the Salty
sour,
Lady.
Sour.
Dude,
but
that
it has a sour. It has a bitterness to it. But
that's
the
a gose as
salt,
well,
I
no?
think the
Yes.
salt
Yeah.
covers a lot of the
Salty Lady
sourness.
goes hard, dude.
And is
Yeah.
far more salty than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
Most
lives up to his name.
definitely.
it for those of you who haven't tried it, it kind of tastes
What
like
you served me?
if you were to go work out and you get like all that sweat on your face and it dries, and then you go have that glass of water and it's just like salt. That's what a Salty Lady tastes like, except with a beer.
How about for people who don't work out like me?
Then you have
Oh.
Queen of the Mist, which is
Have
their
you ever-
variation of
Like
Salty Lady,
everybody
which is
has
just
to-
raspberry mango flavor.
It's kind of like a California potato chip.
Oh, makes sense.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is a California?
It's when
potato
you
chip?
Dude,
come
you
on
and
a
I
girl's
work out. You need
face-
to worry about
I
it.
knew
We're,
you
When
we're
you
good.
come on a girl's face
Nice.
and you let it dry, and then she peels it off and eats it.
Oh my god, dude.
Nice.
You've never heard that?
every day.
Jesus.
Urban Dictionary. Get it. My holy trinity.
I'm
right
sorry, Jenny.
The fact that I'm drunk for half of this and I probably won't remember it is the only saving grace that I just.
Second plug: sour beers are like a California potato chip. Yeah, that's,
I feel like
eat
there's a lot of
them all the time.
misinformation being thrown out right now. Are we supposed to be informative or disinformative?
nah, man, we're just talking, bro.
Oh, all right, all right. So what are we drinking now?
That's the Papi Chulo that we're drinking now.
Oh man, so episode 3. Never mind. We're just gonna plug this right in.
We're just doing it right meow.
Right. Meow.
Nice.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
That's great.
No, you just fed me. Was it Papi Chulo?
Papi Chulo.
what was
Yeah,
it?
just Papi Chulo. That's
The other thing I really like about the Papi Chulo, and dude, I don't know, I'm gonna piss some people off about this, but I don't like IPAs. Thank
Sorry.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. Every time I talk to people
push it.
about this, it's like I'm a fucking animal who doesn't
They're
understand.
probably like barely getting into the beer scene
Yeah,
because I
they're-
remember
they're-
like being at the beer scene at the beginning and just like IPAs the greatest beers, and then after that, it's just
Well,
like,
here's the thing though. IPAs, like I used to love them, but now there's the market is flooded, dude. Like there's
Yep.
so many. Every brewery has like 10 different IPAs now. And
You
I'm
know
just
what that
kinda-
leads
I'm kinda
into me?
over it.
You know what that leads into me? Like, what's your favorite, your first craft beer you ever had in your life? Can you remember it?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
we'll go around.
Hold
Jono?
on, is Shiner a craft beer?
Yes, it is.
yeah.
Sadly.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Then yes,
goddamn.
that was
Oh,
my
whoa.
first-
Actually,
Okay,
yeah,
I guess
that was
he's
mine
gonna
too.
start.
Yeah.
My real for I guess.
Yeah,
my
right?
first-
Oh,
Aside,
Shiner
aside,
sauce?
aside from Shiner, because I'm gonna say
Yeah.
all of us was probably Shiner.
Maybe Blanche or Weizenpanner or Franziskaner.
What'd you think about it? Why would you keep drinking it?
Would you consider Fin du Monde?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that beer.
Mine,
Why would I keep
mine was Fin
drinking
du
it?
Monde.
Yeah. What made you taste a craft beer and keep drinking craft beer instead of like a natty light?
My dad said, "Don't be a bitch."
Here's the thing. This
Hey,
is
Actually,
what-
that's kind of like
me.
your dad told me not to be a bitch. Also, but that's
Here's the thing. This is like I guess I first heard this theory from my brother is that you get like over time your taste buds just get desensitized. So you start off and like I remember I had it was from Harpoon. It was Leviathan. I remember the first time I
Ooh,
had
that's
that.
a goodie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. The first time I had it though, I fucking hated it. I was like, this tastes like shit. Like, how can anybody drink this? 5 years later, I go to Monarch and they have it on draft, and I try it, and I can I can taste the caramel notes. And it's because I think at that point my palate is just like it's done, dude. Like it's been, like 100 shots of Jameson later, and it's just like, dude, no, like.
It's all that
this tastes
Fireball you
good.
keep drinking, dude. All that
Fuck
big red you keep
Fireball,
chewing.
dude.
I'm gonna take mine back. Fin du Monde was the second one I had. The first craft beer I ever had was Zingu.
Ooh, that's a
Zingu.
good one.
Zingu, black
That was,
Brazilian beer.
yeah,
I
it was a black
love
lager,
a
right?
black beer,
Gotta be
yeah.
black.
Huh?
Huh?
That's what it is.
No.
It's not a dark beer. It's black.
It's black.
Literally black. You can hold it up against a light and you can't see the other end of the bottle.
Jono. What's yours?
My first craft beer, Magic Hat. Magic Hat number 9 was like the first one where I was
Oh,
like,
that's a good one,
holy
too.
moly,
I
this is a
like
good one.
Magic Hat. Dude, what the fuck happened? I don't see that anywhere anymore.
It's still around. They're in cans now, I think, primarily. It's not a big account, so we don't get a lot of their stuff, but I wish we did.
Who's we?
What do you mean?
Yeah, you're like you work at a brewery. Like you guys don't carry anything but your own shit. Like
I don't know, man. I talk like this sometimes.
you have like 10 different jobs. like-
He means royal we like El Paso we.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
there you go.
Good.
All
All
right.
right.
So Patrick, what's yours?
All right. So the first true craft beer I had, I guess, would have been tried and true, the Blanche. And then the first sour I had was
The
2014.
Blanche de Brussels.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
No, yeah, fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Blanche
Blanche
Brussels is also a
Brussels.
very good
That's a
like
good beer.
craft beer to introduce to anybody who's not into craft beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Definitely a really great introduction. My first sour was La Folie 2014.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good.
yeah.
That's a
So
goodie right
That's a
there.
if you
brown
guys don't
ale
know,
sour.
La Folie
from Belgium.
like changes every year. It's slightly different, and I'm gonna sound like a fucking total beer snob, but I love that shit. 2014, and I completely agree
Oh,
with
yeah.
you on that one.
Wow. that's like a
2015
first
was
right there.
fucking 2015 was garbage.
So, okay.
2014, amazing.
So
No,
you keep
this
you
year's is
keep,
pretty good too.
Beef, you keep talking about beer changes, right? Is there a reason for these beer changes? Do you think this is a palate thing like we were talking about, or do you think this is like an environmental thing, like
think it's definitely a palate thing, dude.
hops?
No,
your, your palate
so,
does change naturally every 6 months on
Right.
its own, like subtly. It does change already.
Naturally, but I think as
No, it's not
people who work-
naturally. It's as you keep eating things, you're actually burning off. Like you're killing. At the end of the day, like your taste buds, they're dying off.
To
They
take it
just get
back a notch, the way I
overused.
like to describe it, what Darren was talking about, is think of it like you're eating McDonald's all day. Like you're 15 years old, you're just $1 cheesies, you're going hard on that shit. You grow up a little more, you have a little money, now you just want something refined. That's why you go into craft beer because now all of a
you
sudden
get the
like
Big
yo,
Mac.
yeah. No, not even that. You skip McDonald's all entirely.
It's like
You
going
go
from
out
chicken
like-
nuggets to chicken selects.
There you go. Yeah.
But this is the reason I like sipping on Lagavulin 16. You guys ever had that? It's a scotch.
Lagavulin.
Say what again?
Lagavulin.
Lagavulin, yeah.
Fuck that.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Too far into the
I'm
second beer to care
educated.
about that. Anyway.
I mean, that shit's good.
But it's a Isle Scotch. It's like really smoky, and I remember the first time I had it, like it was it was weird, man. I've never had anything like that. It was like smoky. It's like having barbecue in your mouth. But I think at that time, like my palate was already been like run through the ringer from all the shots and all the shit we've taken over the years. And I like sipping on that now. You know, I like that flavor. I like that.
It's not that it was shot. It's just you upgraded from $1 cheesies to actual like
I don't think I
steaks,
upgraded.
like actual like oh shit, like I can have something more than ground beef. Here's an actual steak.
I think we just adapt to like needing stronger and more pungent flavors to get that.
Yeah.
Like
No, that's part of it, and that's also why the I know this is kind of weird, but just stick with me here. The
mic in
reason
your
why
mouth.
the hot sauce industry kind of started blowing up all of a sudden, I don't know if you guys remember, but they were, growing up, there was like a few hot sauces, right? And then all of a sudden, there was like half an aisle dedicated to hot sauce out there. Part of that is that as baby boomers started getting older, it's the same thing. Like their taste buds start going out.
Hey, do we
So
all get a kiss?
so hot sauce
Darren
was
just
a
invited
lot
his
of
girlfriend,
the,
and they're fucking gay. They're like the cutest thing ever. It's fucking ridiculous how cute they are.
shut the fuck up, just 'cause I love my girlfriend, motherfucker.
you just,
Which is pretty cool.
you
Yeah.
just
I mean,
your jelly's coming out, beef. You gotta.
yeah, I know,
it's-
right? I
it's-
beat
you
off
gotta-
every night, so
yeah, you gotta
I
cover
have
it, cover it,
nothing to
bud.
speak.
Hey,
Not to
it
you
helps
guys.
prevent prostate cancer. You can do it.
Hey, what the fuck's y'all's girlfriend? Exactly.
Yeah.
Love you.
That's why I beat off every night.
Exactly.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
well, there you heard it here, folks. Pro masturbation. But yeah, so that's one of the reasons why like hot sauces got so popular, because as people get older and their taste buds are dying out, things like hot sauce is the only way they can start tasting things again. And so it's not just an evolution of the palate, but it's also the fact that a part of your palate is just kind of dying off. And so
Damn, that's kinda
there's
bleak.
certain things that are high strong enough that you can't pick up on, where
I
others
would have just
you
thought
can.
people
Speaking
got
of
more
which-
refined as they get older, not like, yo, everything's dying inside of me.
No,
Let me just
it's
get
just-
No,
stronger
let's
shit.
be honest.
I noticed this.
After 21, it's all downhill. It's all.
but no,
it is.
it
Have you
gets to
ever
a
seen
point.
Have you seen Kitchen Nightmares? Any of you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I noticed this with the fucking Ramsey man. He'll walk into a fucking restaurant, and it could be packed, but if it's all old people, he'll like totally knock on it. He's like, I walk in here, it's like a fucking cemetery. It's like a fucking funeral home and shit. And there's a reason why I like, not to be a dick, but I think there's a reason why he knocks on it for that, is because at that age, your palate, dude, you're eating like lubies at that point. You know what I mean? Like, you're
True.
right? Like,
It's like Mel and Doug.
you
Mel and
fuck
Doug.
what you eat.
Yeah, so
So when you're that age, you don't give a fuck what you eat. And so he knows that. When he walks in, he's like, dude, only old people eat here. Like, that means your food is just, like, nobody, like,
No
there's
flavor.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing.
no, I have the perfect example. Mel and Doug. So Mel and Doug are this old
Aw.
couple who
They're nice.
go to the. They're
I
the
wonder if they have
greatest people
sex.
ever.
I wonder if they have
No,
sex.
they do have sex because he broke his hip. Remember, he has 2 hips.
That's right. Yeah.
He has so Mel and Doug are 2 old people. Like they're Mel. Okay, so Mel is kind of like I would say 64 maybe.
Be better
But
if she was
the-
69.
Yeah, that's kind of gross. 'cause
I didn't mean
she's,
that laugh. I take that back.
she's like 200 pounds, but Doug is like 80 something. He's 80. I think he's 82.
He's pretty old.
Yeah, he's fucking old.
Yeah,
Not pretty
sure.
old. He's fucking old.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, he's definitely fucking old. Yeah.
but
I see what you did there.
Podcast over.
Wordplay.
but they like I wish I had their liver because this guy shows up at the
Oh,
monk.
yeah.
If you
I
go
mean,
to the
if you
monk
were like a
around-
month, they'll probably die, and I'm sure they'll just like
Whoa,
they'll
do
be
you
on the
really
donators
want? You
list.
really want to call him out though?
No, dude, I'm amazed by them that guy will show up at the monk.
Yes, because they listen to podcasts.
Yeah, right. He's
Well,
still
watch
in
him
his,
just like next week, just putting you on blast, like on the comments, like "fuck you, we do listen to." I don't know why they have the voice of an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
But if you ever go to Hoppy Monk in El Paso around like 3:30 when they open up, Mel
Early
and
bird
Doug,
special.
There's gonna be an old couple at the bar. Like you'll know who they are because the wife is like heavy set, and then the guy looks like he just survived the Holocaust.
He's old, has a
But he-
1,000-mile stare off in the distance.
Yeah, he doesn't
Thank
say
God,
much.
No fucking wonder she broke his hip.
The Vietnam War is going on in his
Yeah,
head.
yeah, exactly. But he
They're in
drinks,
the trees.
No, but he drinks like 6 beers a day. He'll
Yeah.
go in there and drink 6% alcohol beers a day. like
All
every
like 90 shillings.
yeah,
and
90
just-
shillings. Remember he used to love Rogue Dead Guy when he almost croaked?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he
Holy
almost
shit, that
croaked
was
at the bar.
scary.
Yeah. So he
was
got to the
fucking
hospital, and first thing he did was go to a bar, which I commend. Like, I love that about him. That he almost died, and then he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to a bar once I get out of the hospital. And he went in, and I guess it's like something sciencey, something healthy, but he had a beer and almost croaked. We had to call the ambulance on him. And the next day, the only reason I found out, because I wasn't working, the next day the manager, Bichardo, shout out to Bichardo,
Retardo.
he was like, yo, dude, Doug almost croaked on us last night. And I was like, oh, dude, that sucks. He's like, but was he drinking Road Dead Guy?
That sucks.
But
So-
he was.
I mean, they're both drinkers. I mean, Doug once shit himself. Unfortunately, it was kind of sad. Old guy.
Damn, man,
Mel-
y'all just fucking with Doug this entire episode, man. That's fucked
I'm
up.
just gonna say though, Mel put him in the car. She came back into the bar, drank her beer, drank another beer, and then left to go get him changed. Like they're dedicated to their beers. They can drink. There ain't no
remember-
shame there, man. They love the fucking beers.
It was the greatest part about that is Patrick had to deal with that. Not even me who was serving him.
Oh, God, yeah, that was terrible.
You know why? Because Patrick was in the shitter, blocking so we only have one toilet, one male toilet at Hoppy Monk. And Patrick was taking a shit, and somebody was trying to get in, and he kept trying to open the door, frustrated.
Yeah, I remember
But-
hearing the scuttling of his feet, and they came rattling on the door, dut, 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 and it was really frantic. I was terrified. I was like, oh shit, what's happening? And I just hear this guy go, oh God, and then little droppings just started splattering on the floor on the side, and I looked down. I was like, that's shit. That's liquid shit. And I was just like, oh, what do I do? Do I get up? Do I just finish? I'm already halfway in. I might
So
as well
what
just
did you
finish
do?
it up. I just, hey man, I came here first.
He unraveled some toilet paper and passed it underneath the stall.
No, so okay, I didn't know it was him. So by the time I actually got out, I saw.
I like
Poor
how you
Doug.
say that, as if you knew it was him. You would have gotten up and be like, "Oh no, please."
I probably would have. I probably would have.
All right, let's just share. I'll get one cheek in, and you get one cheek on the other side. We'll just kind of take
Pinch
turns.
it off.
I
What
am
do you do?
generous like that. But here, so I got out of the restroom and I see Doug, poor guy, trying to hover over the urinal, trying to leave shit in that. I was like, oh
Oh.
God damn it,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, baby. Shit in
So-
the urinal. That's how I know you have a good time.
So then what did you do?
Just put my head down to shame, went out to Mel, went behind the bar, and was like, hey, Doug had an accident. It's like, oh, let me put him in the car and I'll take a refill when I'm at it.
Jesus.
Fuck it.
And I
All
served
right.
her that refill.
Yep.
Damn, man, this
And
sounds
the
hardcore.
weird thing about all this is that Mel was not pissed about the fact that he shit himself, but the fact that the wife had a beer without him. He was just in the car waiting while she was having a beer. That was
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love Hoppy Monk, man, I wouldn't want to die there.
That place has some stories. Let me tell you.
Well,
That's why we have a Bible up there.
I gotta
No,
say,
that place has
not as
some
fun since you left
stories.
though.
I can see that.
Well,
if
not
you
as
had
fun
a-
as I left.
No, everyone was thankful when he left Beef.
but
You're
if you
probably
had
right.
to die, if you had to die,
Yeah,
if you had to die,
yeah,
where the
yeah.
fuck would you die?
If you had
How
to
would you die?
die, where would you die or how
All
would
right,
you
well,
die?
okay, you
Both.
can't
Where
just.
and how?
Why are you
can't
yelling
just
and not into the mic?
He's a black guy.
I'm yelling into the mic. The mic is right here.
I can see you and you're not.
Oh,
Yeah, damn,
Look,
everyone has
look,
little spikes.
if it's touching your mustache, you're doing a good job. How about that?
okay.
There
I'll
you
leave it
go.
right here.
All right.
Alright.
How,
Is that
so
good?
let's go around
That's
saying
the way it
how
was?
will we die?
When you listen to this, you're gonna see. You're gonna be like, God damn it.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so you segued, but that segue was kind of like womp womp. So tell us about why you want us to talk about this. Because this came from you and Beeve being shit-faced. and
Actually, you too.
Having a philosophical... Wait, what? Me too?
Yeah,
Yes,
you were there.
We were
yeah.
watching that comedian.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, you were there.
shit
You were
faced,
there.
dude. That was...
Oh,
yeah, okay.
Uh,
Beav and you were being shit-faced, not Beav and you and I.
We were
Okay,
You
so
and I.
for the record, we were all shit-faced. We were
After the
watching.
sidewalk
This was
slams.
after sidewalk, in our defense, this was after sidewalk slamming.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is after
Oh,
this is
Jesus.
after the last podcast.
Yeah. And after that, I still had another 40.
Fun fact: after the okay, so sidewalk slamming will get you fucked up. I don't give a shit how much you drink, but that fucked us right up. Like we were like already on the
We're
level
not
after.
like virgin drinkers. We're alcoholics.
Yeah,
Flat
and
out,
then
flat out.
and we were
All
talking
of
shit
us,
because it's
yeah.
like, okay, this has 14%, this has 8 or what was it?
Six.
Fucking 6%. So we're like, oh, it's 10%, but it's like this big. Like that's not
And
gonna
it-
fuck us up, but it tore us up like that.
It's not the kind of fucked up that you need to.
You're not coming out. Keep on going.
I mean,
That's what
I have
she
like,
said.
dude, I'm pumping the balls here. Like it's in my fucking.
Jiggling the
UV.
balls,
No,
playing
no,
with the
Trying to
gooch,
do.
swallowing the gravy.
Okay, all right. But it's one of those things where it doesn't get you fucked up to the point where you're falling over drunk, but it'll get you really nice and saucy. What fucked us up is that after that, we still drank another 40 because in just to pull back the curtain yet again behind this shenanigans that we're doing is Darren and I got all the stuff we needed to do the sidewalk slamming, and then Jono also got all the stuff we needed to do the sidewalk slamming. So we had ingredients
Nice.
galore.
Well, so the thing is,
So once we
that
finished
they
the sidewalk
poured their
slamming-
shit- they poured their shit like real like on point, right? We poured our shit fucked up, so that what happened was that we kept getting foam, so we had to keep drinking.
Yeah, that's
out of our 40 to make sure that it evened out. And by the time we had like, okay, it's good enough, like it has no foam, it's like, oh shit, my Four Loko is like pretty much gone.
It's gone, yeah. Theirs was like halfway down. It's
Like-
like, oh, we
First of
kinda-
all, it was gone
but yeah.
because we split it evenly.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because we're not
Oh,
amateurs
that-
like
that-
some
yeah.
other people.
Wait, so we drank way more than you, and
Yeah,
you guys
yeah, we
still
did.
ended up more
No,
fucked up than us?
like, first of all, I was drinking before I showed up, and because I did not remember, because I was drinking the night before.
Because
obviously,
we're
'cause I'm an
alcoholics, we have to
alcoholic.
drink more
so
than each other.
I
Yeah, I
I
need to
literally
start group
got a
chats for
text from
sure.
Jono, hey, you still down to do the podcast? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Which I forgot to text him during the week, so I had just reminded him that day.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, hey, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, I guess, yeah, but what's the podcast about? And when I showed up, they bring out Sidewalk Slams, and I'm like, oh, fuck, childhood memories, because I was a teenager when I
Is
first
that
did
that why
this.
you started like curling into the fetal position and rocking back and forth?
Yes, exactly.
Ah, okay.
So after that, I was like, fucking, mama didn't raise no bitch. So
God
I
damn
drank a
Hey,
sidewalk
like
slam.
a champ, yeah.
No, but then again, like that
Also,
night,
I
almost
finished
blacked out.
it. I was the first one to finish
Yeah,
the sidewalk
it was
slam.
I was
Jono-
the last one.
Jono, then me, then Beeve, then Darren.
Yeah, I was totally the last one.
I wanna
So
try
I
this.
almost blacked. I
wanna
didn't
try
almost
this.
black out. I
Can we
literally
get a
blacked out that
van?
Oh,
night
thank you, Jono.
because I went to that beer festival we were talking about that night,
Right.
and then I chugged the KBS because they're just trying to get rid of shit, and then I went to the gay bars. Which anybody, if you know a gay bar, you know on Sunday you get fucked up on gay bars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They have dollar vodkas and free burgers.
Yeah, and then I went and bought pizza joint, and which I ended up giving to Patrick, which he would contest to my story of how lit I was because I hate him, so I would never give anything to him unless I was belligerently intoxicated.
He hates me, but
Well,
he
that
secretly
was
loves me as well.
unnecessary.
Totally loves me. Misses
But
me.
anyway, we digress. So
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So the
Oh
reason
yeah,
we're
something
talking
about dying and
Bo's
uh,
Bo's podcast.
Yeah, okay. So the reason
We're
we're talking
all-
about
we're all
Big Fish
chilling
and
there.
Die is because we're all kind of fucked up, and then we're sitting in the fucking, we're sitting on my couch, and we're watching
Because-
Anthony Jeselnik.
Because look, we may be alcoholics, but we don't drink and drive. So we had to sit there, chill out, fucking do our thing.
Yeah. So yeah, we were watching Anthony Jeselnik, and he was talking about. Wait, what? What did you
You
say?
said you don't drink and drive. I think we've all had DUIs here.
Yeah.
I don't.
Actually,
Oh,
Four,
well,
four out of five.
Four out of five?
Yeah.
Holy
Fucking
shit.
let me knock on all the fucking wood in this house right
Wait,
now.
no, but you're also the only one that's never had a bar job.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's true.
So-
Yeah. All right.
Like, yeah,
But we're
man.
not saying that if you work at a bar, you're going to get a DUI.
But we're saying-
But you
the
probably will.
How about
chances
okay? How about we
are-
just stick with the
Just
fact that
ask
we
your-
we
ask your-
don't condone drinking and driving. Do as we
We
say,
don't
not as,
condone
I,
it.
not as we do. How about that, huh?
Well, we all are reformed, so we can say that
yeah,
we don't.
Yeah.
drink and drive.
Yeah.
My Uber like tabs.
It's
are
when you get your
huge.
second one when you're like, okay, you have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the fucking wake up call, really? Dear God, all right.
Well, the first one's a wake up call. The second, once you get a second, like that's. Yeah,
You have a
you're-
problem.
you
You
have a
really
fucking
have a
problem,
problem. The
yeah.
first one is like, dude, you fucked up. You
Yeah.
You didn't hear about
reprimands,
that
you know.
cat who got? I think it was like 2 or 3 in one day.
There's a cat that can drive?
No, sorry. There was a guy. There was a fucking guy who got. Let's see. He got a DUI like in the morning, and then they let him out on bail, and then he went out and drove again, and then he got a DUI another time. I think he got like 2 DUIs the same day.
There was
Like-
a chick that did that.
No, I know a guy who
Recently.
got like
Yeah.
he was on like his 11th DUI, and I was like, "Yo, dude, how do you get so many DUIs?" And he's like, "I just fucking like drink and go." So there's a picture of I guess an anti-drinking and driving campaign that Texas started. They're like trucks rock, but they also roll. It was his fucking truck. The only reason I know is because I helped him flip it over and fucking put it on a trailer and drive it away. It was on the side of a gateway in front of Great American in the Northeast.
In the Northeast.
Fucking
Shout out to
Northeast.
Great American.
I'm
They're a
glad
good
that's
company.
all El Paso's known for, the drinking and driving.
Yeah, like okay, granted,
Yo,
yeah, it's
we
a
are
super.
the biggest account for Bud Light here, and we're the second highest in the country for DUIs.
We were
So,
talking
yeah.
about that last week, about how we're the only ones that have like a 30 pack and shit.
I remember your
Oh,
DUI.
yeah.
That was fucking amazing. I love that
'cause-
story.
Are we
So-
gonna should it be twice? Me getting fired and me getting beat
No,
up?
because- so I was.
Hey, while
at
you
a
were
friend's
fucking
house.
shitting
He's
on
a
Doug,
Decepticon.
you're next.
I was at a friend's house drinking, and this fucker calls me. I'm already like trashed at this point, and he calls me up. He's like, "Hey man, I need you to come pick me up." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "I fucking ran my car into like a
Transformer.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
why we call it Decepticon. That's literally why because he took
Anyway.
out a Transformer.
So
Fucking Decepticon over here.
I'm hanging out with my friends, like these dudes, and they're like, "All right, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go pick up my friend who's fucked up." And like, I literally get up and stumble like halfway, like.
I
trying to
actually
get
have a
up.
picture of it somewhere.
I just want to say, true to style, true to lifting libations. I never planned on drinking in the morning. I wanted to go to the gym, but it was closed because it's 4th of July. So what I ended up doing, I went to Black Market or Darren and drank. But I just wanted to lift some weights. That's all I wanted to do that day. I did not mean
First
to
of
drink
all,
and
if
get
you
drunk.
look at this guy, you could tell like he's never lifted a weight in his life. So this excuse is complete bullshit.
That is a lie.
He's like 100
That is a
pounds,
lie.
maybe.
The first day he decides to go back to the gym is July 4th. Really, bro? Really?
Like really, guys. But actually, so
So talking
to
about
this story.
Oh, okay.
No. Talking to this story, I kind of want to keep shitting on him. Our old cook gave us he's like, "Yo, dude, he lived in the same apartment complex that this guy took out a transformer on." He's like, "Yo, dude, it was July 4th, and I'm just fucking trying to have a good time, chilling, and then
Watch
my
porn and
electricity
masturbate.
goes out." And I was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Yeah." And I see Patrick running away from a fucking car, and he took a picture of it. I have a picture of this. I guess we'll have to post that picture somewhere on our
Twitter
or
or
Instagram,
on
whatever we
MySpace.
fucking have. Our
This is gonna be
MySpace.
like the piece
But-
of evidence that like breaks a 10-year-old case that like breaks down SWAT on
you-
Patrick's
you already
house.
served his time, man. You
I
already
just want to
served his
say,
time.
all right, yo, my car hit the fucking transformer. I moved my car off the street so it wasn't, blocking people's way. It wasn't a hazard. And I walked back to the car. I walked back to the accident. The police picked me up and they tried to charge me with, like hiding evidence of running from the case, which is not true. That's why I lawyered up. PTD. I'm good.
So going off of that, DUIs can kill. And if you were gonna die, where would you want to die and how?
Word, hey, you always.
How to segue is mine. Actually, no, it was worse. I would have to say that was probably worse than mine.
Not even. DUIs
Yeah.
do kill, so don't do it.
Start off,
Yeah, I
John.
mean,
Where would
this
you
is
die?
true.
And how?
Fucking info.
Where would I die and how? Dude, I don't know, man. When I was younger, I want to go crazy and whatnot, but honestly, I want to die near my kids to scar them for the rest of their lives.
Obviously.
There's
right.
no damage, like emotional damage.
Right? No, I don't know. I'd want to maybe do something cool, like maybe cutting down trees and then like the fucking chainsaw goes and I just fucking fall to the ground and the chainsaw cuts me up and then my kid's like, "Oh shit." But, you
All
know.
right, so this dude wants to die fucking Final Destination style. Like,
Yeah,
that's
that
just
was-
fucking.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
happening? Like,
Are we
You want
talking
a
about like
chainsaw to cut
suicide
you
or
up?
just death naturally?
do you want to start from like the balls up so you're still alive, or do you want to like,
no,
like
just
hit you in the head?
Just
Okay.
the head, yeah. If it could kick back and just hit me in the head, I'd be good with that.
Oh, fuck.
That's so fucking
You
weird.
ever seen Running Man?
So,
When-
Patrick, how
no,
would you
when
die?
he fights Buzzsaw,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
fucking takes the fucking chainsaw and like splits him up like the nuts.
Yeah.
He like starts singing his shit. He's like,
Do the Arnold voice.
"Sorry, hold on. What happened to Buzzsaw? He had to split." Oh man, I love that movie.
Patrick,
man.
how would you
One-
Patrick.
what's the
Patrick.
one-liner for the Sub-Zero
Oh
kill?
my God, Sub-Zero. Okay, first of all, he does this. He goes, "Killian, he has Sub-Zero. Now, Plane Zero. That was amazing. And then he goes, it's like, oh, what happened to Sub-Zero or whatever? It's like, he had to chill.
All right, sorry.
All right, so
Back to your original
Patrick,
thing.
where do
Patrick.
you where do you want to die
Some
and
good
how?
nostalgia. You know what? I don't know, man. I want to go out like the Hugh Hefner style, man. I just want to be like old.
With a bunch of sluts and
Yeah,
like,
just the prostitutes that I paid for like my social security money, just riding on top of
those
me.
aren't prostitutes. Those are Playboy bunnies, and that's sophisticated.
But
Yo, whatever,
he
same
can't
shit,
afford
man.
Playboy Bunny, so he's talking about sluts.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm just straight up slut, man. Just
Prostitutes.
give me some hood rats, some Northeast hood rats.
Why
Die
are you
when
hitting
I'm
on
like,
Northeast again?
You're
Why
worried
is everyone
about.
hating
Hold
on
on.
my hood?
You're worried about Mel and Doug finding this fucking podcast, and then you have a wife, and you want to die around sluts.
Die around sluts, baby.
In his defense, look, he said he wanted Northeast sluts, not like
Regular
sluts.
sluts.
So I guess he's got some still.
I mean, that's
No,
not
he
class
has
at all.
standards.
That's not class or
It's-
dignity.
You know,
Really good
he knows.
hashtag. Hashtag die around sluts. I like that. Hell yeah, buddy.
What?
Fist
Dude,
bump.
so my
Oh.
Northeast story. One time I got a flat tire, so I went to take it to a place on Dyer. As I'm getting my flat tire fixed, it gets raided for fucking child trafficking. No fucking lie.
God
Damn.
dude.
Shout out to Dyer Tire.
Oh,
Hashtag-
shit.
wait,
Dude, I went there a couple of times.
Wow, I
Really?
lived right
Holy
there.
shit.
The card corner?
Yeah, I lived right
Dude,
there.
really?
Wait,
Holy
what happened to the car corner?
Wow.
What do you mean? Card corner closed down a long time
Yeah.
ago. dude.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
said I thought you were saying they got raided too or some
No,
shit.
no,
Yeah.
stop being a nerd, man. We're talking about this pedo ring here.
All right,
For
so,
those of you who
so you're
don't
gonna
know,
die
card
around
corner.
sluts.
Yeah, yeah.
Hashtag die around
All right.
sluts.
Beef.
Make it a thing.
I'm
If-
about to Twitter this shit.
If I have
real
to
on the
die,
quicks.
I'm hoping
On the
it's
quicks.
on my own accord, so I commit suicide, obviously. But I'm gonna do carbon monoxide garage car on.
Dude,
Mobile.
unless you go buy like a fucking 1974 LeSabre, like that shit doesn't happen anymore.
No, I'm gonna fucking.
Newer cars
stomp on
don't
it.
like. This is,
I have
Fucking
a
LeSabre.
brand new car, but I'm gonna stomp the shit out of it to where it makes carbon monoxide.
all right.
No fucking joke. Like 6,000 RPM, like all day.
See, but
And then I'm
why
gonna
don't you just
fall
like
asleep.
Damn, how
drive
do you know
car
the
off,
6,000
like, a road or
RPM? You've done
something,
your
man?
research.
Yeah, dude. No, I've actually thought about this multiple times with multiple people, and I will
you should
commit.
probably stop drinking.
Are you okay? dude? Are you
this,
all
this
right?
feels
Yeah,
like
that's what my boss told me.
you know you're it's a cry for help really. So it's starting to feel like more than anything.
No, I'm a functioning alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic for sure, but I'm a functioning alcoholic. I go to work every day before I went to work every day at 8 a.m. Still drunk, but I did my job. My boss actually, on my last time I was hanging out with you assholes, told me, like, hey, I have no complaints on your job, on your work ethic, but maybe you should stop drinking. And I was like, you know what? You right. You right.
You right.
You right. You right. You right.
But hold on, I'm gonna sip this beer though.
You're right.
All right, so Darren, who is on his like 7th, what are you eating?
I don't know. I actually don't know what this is.
Cinnamon roll, right?
Something like that, yeah. So where are you gonna die?
Nom, nom, nom.
Diabetes?
I am black, so statistically, yes.
Nah, like hey, that's a true story right there. You fought that shit. You got.
Yeah.
They put the fear of diabetes in you, and you were like, nah, I'm gonna change my lifestyle.
Actually, no. The reason I lost weight was because the alternative was
Death.
it was like
Stapling?
No, it was lap band surgery.
Lap
or-
dance surgery?
Lap band.
Oh.
Oh, yo, I'll take lap dance surgery though. Shouting out.
Yuck. Anyway,
With your
guys wanna
sluts.
hit up the strip
thing
club
is
later?
that they lap band is they put like a band around your
Stomach.
no, I think it's like the
Esophagus.
esophagus, yeah. And it goes in there and it makes you feel full. But my whole thing was like, so what you're telling me is that I can't just pick out whatever the fuck I want. Like, so I have to like eat a certain way all the time. I was like, no, I'm not doing that shit. So I literally lost weight because I wanted to be able to pick out like sometimes. Because
Yeah, no,
sometimes you just
it's-
want to like
yeah.
eat 20 chicken wings, you know? What
Like
the
right
fuck?
now, like you couldn't have you're what
The
like
beer.
fourth beer now. You'd have one beer
And
with
that's
that
how
surgery,
lifts
and you're
and
done.
libations came about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lifts and libations is based on like, okay, I probably will never have like abs or like a six pack and shit, but I will look kind of fit.
Hey,
But
in my-
I
look,
can't get away from this shit, man.
In my defense, I use the Darren Perkins system, and I got my six pack. I'm like Ryan Gosling down there right now.
yeah, like you
Are
can,
you?
you can still
Whip
get
it out
trash
right now. Whip it out.
Yeah, you can still get trash and be healthy. Like that's.
Whip it out.
I
Whip
got, you know
it
those like
Whip
weird
it
those
out.
weird app lines you
Whip
get.
it
Oh, the
out.
V
I got
cut.
those.
Whip
I got those,
it
man. I
out.
got those. Hold on.
Whip it out.
There's
You're
Oh,
literally
he's about to
about
take off
whip
his
out
shirt.
There's no video here. It
I
doesn't
will
make any
try
sense.
That's all right. We'll be the judge. Fuck it. Why not? Let's get all gay up in here. Take it off.
I have kids here.
Well, you're gonna scar me for your death, man.
Oh,
Look at that.
he does have that big cut.
We got it.
Tattoo.
Yeah, I'm actually more interested in that tattoo, man.
Yeah, what
What's
is
up?
that?
We didn't need
What's
to talk
up?
about that tattoo. That's fine.
That's
There's a reason why it's down by the public area.
Let's talk
So-
about that
Yeah,
tattoo.
Adrian moved in with me like I think it was I guess a year ago, basically, right?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, and I guess he saw
Thanks
the
for
way I
remembering,
lived.
asshole.
What?
The anniversary.
Well,
The anniversary of what?
Yeah,
man, I've had
it's-
like 3 roommates. Like, stop. Anyway.
like to I guess a little backstory is Darren and I have been knowing each other since we were in middle
Basically
school.
Middle school, yeah.
And so I knew him in his chunky days. And so when we were connected, he lost a bunch of weight. And then I went from being like 150 pounds to like 215 pounds. And so I went up to him and I told him, you know what? Help me lose weight because this is just not. I got winded trying to tie my shoes. And for me, that was a wake-up call. It's like, who the fuck gets winded trying to tie their shoes? So, yeah. I used the Perkins system, and I am now 135 pounds.
That's
Yeah,
what's
like
up.
my thing is like basically people know what's good to eat and what's not good to eat. People are just like I don't know, they're like selectively oblivious to it. Like you shouldn't be eating bananas and oatmeal, shit like that for breakfast when you're trying to lose weight. Yeah, see, I think you should.
I was just like, oh, bananas are good. Oatmeal is good. If you put them
If you're
together,
trying to
super
gain
good.
weight, yeah, if you're trying to gain weight, yeah, like that kind of shit is.
Yeah,
is
that's
good,
all I
but-
ate. It was great.
Yeah, like so I'm like the diet I'm on it. But the diet that I'm on is basically just I mean it's all natural, man. Like it's just like really good shit like green or red because I like meat. It is close to my mouth.
Look at that.
Yo, why don't you just change it over there? Why don't you just turn that little knob?
Yeah, why
dial
don't
it
you
up
do
a little
that,
bit
dude?
until Darren starts yelling again.
Yeah, if I hold it
Side
like, if
starts
I hold
kicking
it
in.
like this, can I yell at this point?
No, maybe he's got a compressor going.
It, though. He's holding it at an angle and like Little Johnish. I'm not gonna lie.
Lil John.
Yeah.
He had the dreads and everything.
Plus-
so
plus-
I'm-
Matt said
maybe-
Matt said he's coming and
Yeah.
like there's like literally
Okay.
9 minutes left. of this fucking
Okay.
thing.
Oh my God.
Stupid.
Anyway,
But at least we
okay,
get pizza.
hold on. How do you want to die? That's the thing. We started this whole thing and we segued the fuck out of it. And
Yeah, but I feel like it wasn't really necessary. So fuck it, right? So anyway, that's not what the
How are you gonna
You
die?
wanted to talk about this, but fuck. All right.
Yo,
No,
if
I
we're
didn't-
not going to talk
okay,
about
here's the thing.
if we're not going to talk about how we die, let's talk about our economic growth in this country.
Good
Oh,
segue.
good
Good
segue.
segue.
No,
If
that's
you're gonna
actually
be
one of our
alive,
topics
you
that we
need
wrote
money.
down.
Yeah, I
Let's
wrote
talk
down-
about
I
that.
wrote down topics that we were supposed to talk about, and one of them was, okay, we're supposed to die, but then like Jono just said some shit like out of joking, and I was like, oh, that's good. Economic growth in this country, bring back coal mining jobs and whatever. But
Coal
no,
mining job.
We're doing good.
we doing
Moving
all
on.
right. Yeah.
Actually, I
all
love
right,
Trump.
so that's that subject.
Trump is my boy, dude. I'm in the
Why
oil
do you
field
want
now.
people to
Like,
hate
I'm,
you?
I'm literally
I know
work
why
for
he
an
likes
oil
Trump.
company
I know why he likes Trump.
because they pay me and I fucking they pay me a lot of money and I don't do shit. That's why.
I think he likes Trump because Trump is kind of like what would happen if a normal dude became president. I swear to God, that's what would happen if a normal fucking guy became president. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You say random shit when you need to. Like, you just, like yeah.
Crunk.
And like, did you see? Like, did you hear his when he called Fox and Friends? Have you heard that fucking phone call?
No.
Yeah, because Fox and Friends is like his thing. He watches them
Yeah,
in order to
just-
update himself on what's going on in the world. But he was talking to them and he just kept talking. He was all, and in Mexico, and then blah blah blah, and they don't treat me like this, and this and that. And even the Fox and Friends guys were like, yeah, well, we're pretty sure you have things to do, so we're gonna just go ahead and cut you off. So the Fox and Friends dude had to cut you off. You're the president of the United States, and they told you had important shit to do. Like, bam.
Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. Hi, Adam.
Oh, my son's here with me right now. He's just
His name
chilling.
is
What's up, little
ATOM.
dude?
Say hi.
All right.
I love this kid's name.
So
I'm a chemist.
So best places to die. I've always wanted to die big wave surfing.
I thought you didn't want to do that.
I'm doing it now. Remember, this is all editable, so we can just like cut this shit out. So
That's
anyway,
true.
That's why there was like that awkward pause between segments.
Exactly. So what do you call it? Yeah, big wave. I've always wanted to die big wave surfing, man. Like I think dying doing something epic and fucking.
Do you know how to swim?
crazy.
You're black. I'm sorry. Like this is.
I'm
I
not
feel.
Mexican. Of course, I know how to swim. Anyway,
You're not what?
Gotta get in this country
I'm
somehow.
not Mexican.
What?
Of course, I know how to swim. But yeah, no, I've always wanted to die doing something.
Hold
stupid.
on. That being Mexican doesn't guarantee you know how to swim.
Yes,
It
yes.
guarantees you know how to tie. Jesus Christ, man!
So Darren just spilled
his beer.
trying to
Hold on,
drink it.
being a drinking, quasi drinking podcast, I feel like there should be some sort of punishment for this.
Yeah, there should be.
Yeah,
Chug
each
chug
time.
that beer.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
chug
the
that
only-
beer.
I'm the only-
Chug your beer.
I'm the only-
Chug
your
your beer. Chug your beer.
All right, so
Ladies and
I
gentlemen, he chugged it.
Good
got a
man.
segment here, and I guess this will be our closing out segment, and
Doesn't
we'll
have to be.
we'll have it for newcomers, and I guess since this is the first time we're gonna do this, Patrick,
Yo.
what's your fuck style?
That is totally no. That's not in
Oh.
the notes. I don't like it.
I don't know. I kind of like that. Let's do that every day. Yo, man, I just like a doggy.
Doggy style?
Yeah.
The
Oh.
new
Ain't nothing wrong with
missionary?
Everything.
Doggy's
nah.
a new missionary. I
Yeah.
swear.
All right,
Doggy's a new
all right.
missionary.
So Adrian,
I feel like everybody's always like doggy's thing. Like I agree.
It's a
Like,
great
it's
thing.
a good- man, this is hard to answer. It honestly, I feel like it's one of those things where it depends on what you're doing that day. Because sometimes you're just like, you know what? Yeah, girl, you need to do all the work. Like I don't have it in me. Like the hips aren't having it. But assuming everything's right with the world, yeah, I'm gonna go with Patrick. Just there's
If it
something
ain't
about
doggy,
doggy
then it's
style.
going down to eat.
Assuming,
Go.
hold
Going
on.
for that buffet, man.
Assuming you got that like the good curve,
The
right? Because nobody wants the girl who has like the hump.
the arch.
Yeah, it's
the
like
camel hump?
no, girl, you just gotta like you gotta smack that down. It's like no, the ass needs to be up, but you need to be there has to be like if I can't luge down your ass to your bag, like this is not working for me.
All right, Darren.
It's gotta be.
Agreed.
It's gotta be missionary for me, man. I'm sorry, but like, cause you can like, no lie, you can put some torque in that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can get in. You can get in on that. Like you can, like really put in work.
Yeah, but you can put it just as much
Black and
torque
half.
into
Why is the
doggy,
person that
though.
you're having sex with tapping out?
He's putting all that torque, man. Get out of
Because
this.
they should be, goddamn it. Nah, either like keep it basic, like either missionary or doggy. I don't know why sex has to be so goddamn complicated. Like my girl.
It doesn't. It also doesn't have to be scary. You don't have to be scared about talking
I'm not
about sex.
scared.
It's
I'm
an
not
everyday
scared
thing.
about it, but I'm just saying like.
I like how
My
Darren's getting
girl-
defensive here.
Yeah, dude, he's super just uncomfortable right now.
No, hold on. No, 'cause my girl,
Hey,
like, she'll like, I want to
She's
try
gonna
this.
hit you.
No,
Oh, we
like,
get it.
Yeah. It's because y'all know my girlfriend too, and that's kind of weird. Like, you're like, you know who I'm fucking. Anyway, so.
Oh, because you don't know our wives. Yeah. Ooh.
You mean your wife?
Yeah, your
I
wife.
know
We're not married.
Your
Oh, yeah.
wife.
Oh yeah, I'm married too.
Yeah,
But he
I-
has a whole
we
bunch of
barely
sluts.
know who that
That's
is. We met her like 3 times.
I met her
Might be
twice.
meant to
Yeah,
be.
no, I mean, he's kind of
Yeah.
right in that.
She's not a
Dude.
hologram.
She's
she
hung
is
out at
real.
Hope and Anchor like one time with everybody. Like, I just want to say that. Like,
She might be
You don't
imaginary.
know
So
who
on
she is.
backstory, when I worked with him for so long, and he's like, "Hey, I'm getting married," and I was like, "Cool." Like, what online what online marriage thing did you find and you use? He's like, "Nah, I didn't. I found her like generically," and I was like, "All right, cool." And we didn't we didn't see her for almost 2 years. So for the longest time, we thought it was fake.
Dude, I was surprised she showed up to the wedding. I thought he was gonna wheel out like
No,
like an AV car, but like
I wanted to
and
show up to the
Skype
wedding. I
on the-
wanted to show up to the wedding to know it was real. That's how much. But then she showed up at the Monk one day, and I was like, "Oh shit, she is real." And then we took pictures and then put it on our group message.
She's real and she's hot, and I'd want to die around her.
I don't
There
know
you go.
Way to backpedal, dude. Fuck you.
Yeah,
How many
right.
calories did you lose backpedaling there?
yeah.
Gay.
All right, so Beav, what's your fuck style?
Dude, I'm a fucking passionate lover. I like looking into him in the eyes, and every time I bust a load, when I know I'm busting my load. Your
Girl,
mom just
he'll
walked
actually
by.
kiss you on the
Your mom
lips.
literally just walked by. Jono's mom has known me for, I mean, probably like more than 10 years, and she knows how big of a piece of shit I am. That's why she was laughing as she walked by. No, fuck no. I
She
don't
was
give a
laughing
fuck.
because she's like, no girl will ever love you, son.
That is
No,
very
this is
true.
true.
Very hurtful. No, dude, I don't give a fuck, dude. My fuck style would be whatever she wants at the time, because I'm a fucking piece of shit like that.
Yo, he
Now,
cares
like,
about your
by
girl.
she, do you mean your left
for
hand
that
or your
5
right
minutes.
hand?
Nah, dude, I'm a piece of shit, so of course I get laid. Girls love pieces of shit.
That's true.
That is.
And then they
number
walk
one
home
fact.
without
Like, how do I
shoes.
hit on a girl? Just be my piece of shit self. Dude, I'm almost like a fucking stereotype. I'm a douchebag bartender. I have 2 dogs from 2 different girls. Like, all-
2 dogs from 2 different girls. That's another hashtag.
all I'm missing is selling Herbalife. If I didn't like strongly,
Or Amway Global.
yeah, literally, bullshit.
Yeah.
Like I'm a stereo. Like,
You could also work at T-Mobile.
Oh,
I
yeah.
should.
Wow.
But-
Or GNC.
But that's why I've been getting laid lately, because I'm none of that, and I am all of that. I just gotta lie to them. Like,
That's
hey,
true.
no, I have a brand new car, and I'm a chemist. Hey, I don't have kids from 2 different girls.
Yeah, you drive that fucking Audi.
No, I drive a Nissan. It's not an Audi, guys. Don't. It's nice, but it's not that nice. One day.
Yeah, stop shitting on Audi. Let's get shitting on BMW.
You don't have
You
an
wanna
Audi.
keep
Why
shitting
do you
on
fucking talking
BMW?
shit? You're
Yeah.
broke as fuck, dude.
Dude, we're sponsored by BMW. We can't be
Broke dick motherfucker. Like, oh no, don't shit on my Audi. Like, bitch, you don't have an Audi. All right, Patrick.
Here
Well, I had
it
some nice
is.
cars, but I wrecked him right into a transformer, so I don't have.
Oh
nice
yeah,
cars
he's like a
anymore.
Decepticon.
Dude, I love
That
Scions.
was an RSX. No, wait.
Yo, that RSX was nice.
Yeah, that was. But you didn't take care of it, so.
Because I wrecked it into a transformer. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically.
He
Who's your
took care of
favorite
it up until
Decepticon?
then.
He bought a Scion thinking it was an RX-6, and then he realized, no, it's not.
You
No,
know
but
what?
Scion did come out with like an RS.
Yeah, it's called the BRZ. And that's
There you go,
really
there,
Yeah,
expensive.
it wasn't BRZ. I had a TC, and you know what? It didn't live up, man.
Well, super
No,
was
no.
BRZ. Scion, I think it was the, what is it called?
It was
FRS.
like a collaboration one, right,
FRS.
or something like that.
It was a
Toyota
collaboration.
owns Subaru,
Mhm.
so therefore they can come out with the same
Toyota does
fucking
not
car.
own Subaru.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Get the fuck out of here. It was a collaboration.
So welcome to Car Talk.
Subaru did the engine.
Welcome to
Toyota
DUI talk.
did-
no, hold on.
No, they
No,
don't.
dude,
First of all,
no,
they
come
don't.
on.
And second of all, I feel like
Well, they
We've
go
been
ahead and
talking
argue their
about-
shit on the side. Jono, do
Yeah.
you have any closing remarks for today's podcast? By the way, thank you for the beers. They were fantastic. I want to point out that all the beers we had today were made by
Oh.
Jono in El Paso Brewing Company.
Except
And
for the
they were poured in-house here
Yes.
in his lovely
yeah,
abode.
they weren't his shitty ones. He has some shitty ones. I'm not gonna
There,
lie.
yeah, there is some shitty ones. I don't know. I guess whenever Darren gets us out, we got to figure out what the listeners want to listen to and see where they want us to go drink and
Yeah,
talk
hey,
about our adventures. And,
leave a comment. Let us know if you hate it. Leave a comment. That's cool. There's no bad
Comment
publicity,
is a
right?
comment.
We say
uh,
some raunchy shit here, so.
Yeah. We don't give a shit.
we're ourselves. You
And
be
Toyota
yourself.
is a minority owner in Subaru. God damn it! I just looked that up. Anyway.
So, anyways.
Yeah, I know it's right here. Fuck you.
just all right.
So yeah, leave a comment. Go ahead and tell us what you think and what you want to listen to and where you want us to party, and or drink. Maybe
No,
we
hold on.
could
Yeah,
we could probably drink some cool
Yeah.
beers or
like, comment, subscribe, lifting libations. Fucking Jono.
Is this okay? Is this
Yeah, I'm doing the exit.
YouTube.com/
Yeah, no,
Lifting
I'm doing the exit.
Libations?
This is my goddamn podcast.
All right.
I
Well,
was
put
saying-
the mic-
Oh, damn.
Damn.
All
dude.
right, fuck.
Then the only reason anyway.
no. It's this.
I don't even know why I'm here.
Ew. Sorry.
Anyway, no. So anyway,
Put the mic to your mouth.
it's right there. God damn it.
Now it is.
Okay, well, now I'm yelling.
Be
at
Sam Jackson.
So thank you to Jono, Patrick, Adrian,
Ew.
Beeve, to showing up to another Listen Libations podcast. I am your host No.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you're the
technically-
You
host.
are the host. We're the
Technically.
guests.
Even though he doesn't know how to use a mic, but whatever.
Yeah, no, this shitty mic. I'm buying a better mic. Anyway.
Episode 3. Darren learns to use a mic.
Dar-
Will he? Will he
Darren
not?
buys a better fucking mic.
Tune
So
in
you
next
can hear
time.
We ain't got problems with our 4 mics. We got problem with yours.
That's right. Yep.
It's not on your lip. This nigga's like, he's literally telling me to put it in my mouth. Like, I
In
just,
front of your mouth.
it's been in front of my mouth the entire
No,
time.
it has
Now-
not.
No,
It has
yeah.
not.
You lost. You lost. Just give it up.
Anyway,
This has been.
this has been a little libation.
Thank you for fucking stealing my outro.
Thank you
Fuck
for
you.
stealing my outro.
No, I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Alright,
Alright,
cool.
good fuck.
Well,
So thank you for listening to Living Libations. I'm your host, Clyde Perkins, Living Libations. Thank you everybody for coming out. And like, comment,
Thank you,
subscribe. Everything's in the description. A little tipsy, but y'all have a good night.
Good night.
thank you for coming.
Later.